All right, everybody. Happy Tuesday, 7:07 right now at the live. Look at that sunset. What a pretty day it's been. What a very spring-like day. We're not in spring yet. We're a couple days away. That comes in on Thursday. So technically we are still in winter, and it's going to act like it for the last day of winter tomorrow. As we see this winter storm coming in, it's going to be a big upside-down kind of day. And what a shock it'll be after what we've had today and even how we start tomorrow. Things are going to slide backwards. So I've got the comments up. If you have comments, go ahead and share them. Some of them have been kind of nasty here lately. I think people are tired of snow. I certainly am too. But we have yet another round of a pretty big system. It's powerful, and we're going to have some impacts tomorrow. So just want to get you ready for what we see, and I'll show you all the latest computer information, and we'll walk through that forecast together. So let's get you set for it. Let's start here with this. I want to highlight the wind, as this is yet another potent wind machine. We've had a lot of those here lately. We had one just last week where we had 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. This one right here is going to do 50 plus again. And I show this because of how big the storm is, number one, and number two, just kind of emphasize the power of it. It's a powerful one. And on the back side, near hurricane force gusts. That's not, hurricanes are measured by sustained winds, but we could see gusts in spots get up to the 60, 65 mile per hour range. I'm not forecasting that for Kansas City, but in that yellow stripe that you see, that 65 plus mile per hour winds. So near Hurricane 74. So nasty, and it's going to cut right through Omaha and portions of north central Kansas. For us, we're thinking 50 to 55 mile per hour winds, and it's coming with snow. So here's what we need to know. It's a top alert, first warn weather day. Your morning commute's okay. No trouble there. In fact, the morning's not bad. It's a kind of nice morning, surprisingly. Then we get into the afternoon, and that's where we get into the action. Starts with a little rain, switches over to a rain-snow mix, and then eventually all snow. It turns into a cold crash. Temperatures just fall on their face. It turns super windy, and then a poor evening commute. The evening commute is going to be the one to watch. I'll have more on that in just a second, but let's time this out in a little bit more detail. Again, your morning is mild and dry. It's breezy. It's windy, gusts to 40 miles per hour. Then by about noon to 3 is the rain window. We're going to have some probably just rain there in Kansas City specifically. A rain-snow mix. This is a big question mark. How long is this mix going to last before it switches over to all snow? Is it going to be a rain-snow mix the entire time? I don't think so, but it's not off the table. Generally about 3 to 5 will be the rain-snow mix, maybe up to 6, but by about 5 or 6, we expect it to switch over to all snow and be near blizzard conditions. Now, when you hear the word blizzard, I know that conjures up a huge amount of snow. No, it's not what a blizzard is. A blizzard is based off of wind and visibility is dropping because snow. So we're going to be near that criteria because it's going to be dumping snow, and we'll have 50 plus mile per hour winds, so visibility is going to drop. But don't expect a whole lot of accumulation. This is not going to bring big snow totals for us. It's just too warm. A lot of this is going to melt. Now, if it were colder, yeah, buddy, we'd be getting a lot of snow out of this one, but melting's going to have a big say. So it's a wild day. Your morning, again, it's warm, and then there's the afternoon, the cold snow, the near blizzard conditions, super windy. So let's look at driving conditions. Again, your morning is good. Lunchtime driving is medium. You might run into some rain. You're going to notice temperatures coming down, but all in all, still pretty good. Your evening commute is poor. Snow, wind, reduced visibility. How much snow are we talking here? Well, again, not much accumulation. When you have ground temperatures as warm as they are, and we've got road temperatures that are very warm, the roads will cool quicker than the ground. Most of that, again, is going to melt on contact. Another thing is our temperatures at ground level are going to be above freezing throughout the time it's snowing, or through 90% of it anyway. But the thing is, with snow, even whenever it's above freezing, even whenever you have a warm ground, snow can punch down through. If it's coming down hard enough, it can punch down through that warm layer that's real shallow, and when it hits the ground, it will all initially melt. But if it comes down fast enough, it can kind of form a blanket. And we saw that earlier this winter, just a few Fridays ago. Was it Fridays? I don't know, a couple weeks ago, whenever we had the last high snow or high wind and snow event that didn't bring a lot of accumulation, same thing kind of happened where it began to stack up on itself, even though the ground was warm and even though ground temperature or surface temperatures were above the freezing mark. So that's a very difficult forecast, and there's no computer that will tell you accurately how all that plays out. But I do want you to know it can, if it comes down hard enough, even with the warm temperatures and the warm ground, can start to accumulate. Most of this is going to stick on grass and cars. Grass, even though it's still dry and it's not very high, it is an inch or so above the warmer ground layer, the ground temperature. So it can stick on that. It can stick on handrails. It can stick on cars. That's where most of our accumulation is going to be. Though we may have some slushy roads. It's possible. The main issue, though, is visibility. You want to avoid the roads late in the day, because if you're going to be out on them, you won't be able to see that well. Could we have some slick spots develop? Yes. So you put those two things together and it just won't be great. So how much snow are we talking? Pretty small numbers here. There's a point in front of those numbers. 0.3 inches is what our latest is putting out for Kansas City. So less than an inch across the board. Some of us get nothing. And this is what we're thinking is going to be on the grass, things like that. If you're farther north, Maryville, we might have some pockets up there of an inch, maybe even 2. It's not off the table. We see some other computer forecasts that are in the 2-inch range up by Maryville, Bethany, some spots like that. But just generally less than an inch, and probably less than a half inch if you get anything at all. Look at it here on forecast radar. All right, your morning's dry. There's 11. It's going to come in out of the west. So the first ones to get snow is going to be Lawrence and Ottawa and places like that. There's the rain in Kansas City. This is about 2 o'clock. So we see some showers. And then how quickly does it switch over to snow? This computer forecast says by 3. I think we'll probably be mixing in some rain for a little bit at that point, which will add to the melting process whenever it comes down. But this is different. Whenever you hit 6 o'clock, this is our evening commute, and you're in the core of some heavy snow. And that's the point where it has a chance to make some slushy roads. And then again, you throw 50-mile-per-hour winds on top of that, and you're in near blizzard conditions. And it's going to last, again, from about 3 to 5. Somewhere in that range is whenever it switches over from rain-snow mix to all snow. By 5 or 6, I think we're into all snow. And then it's going to last up till about 9. 9, we should be shutting down in Kansas City. By 11, it's done for everybody across the board. Now, for regional, if you've got, we've got spring break, and if you're traveling or you've got a flight somewhere, you're driving, whatever, just know that to our north and to our west, this is a whopper. 5 to 10 inches, blizzard warnings up there, Omaha, northern Kansas, northern Iowa, northwest Iowa, even into Wisconsin. This thing's got a big punch there. Here's another look at the winds. In the morning out of the southwest, gusting to 40, northwest, so kind of like today's winds. Today was pretty windy, so tomorrow morning is similar to that. We switch the direction by about lunchtime to the northwest, and then we throttle them up. 50, 55 mile per hour wind gusts for the afternoon and evening. And even if it, weren't snowy, just the wind, you could have some spotty power loss with that. You're approaching severe thunderstorm level winds over a big broad area, and trees, you could snap some branches and arc some power lines. And I wouldn't be surprised if we had some power loss tomorrow, at least in some areas. So just something to be thinking about. Now, whenever it comes to dressing for tomorrow, this is gonna be throw you for a loop probably in the morning, because you want to layer up, you want to gear up for winter coat, the whole thing, because look at our temperatures and how backwards they are. I mean, nearly 60 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning, and by the time we get to the afternoon, you're leaving the office and you're in the 30s, and the wind chills. Check out the wind chills here. All right, so there's your morning. 57, 58, something like that, 7 o'clock in the morning. And then here comes the cold punch. You'll know it the minute it comes in. And it feels like 23 by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So just backwards and upside down. At the moment, Midwest heating, cooling, and plumbing weather cam, we're rocking around with the wind out there right now. But it's a pretty day. Temperatures in the 70s. Oh, I like that. I'm going to miss that. Here's the forecast, 7-day forecast. So 39, I put that for your afternoon temperature at roughly 3 o'clock or so, but the high for the day officially is going to be much warmer than that. So if you look at your phone and your phone says it's going to be, 60 degrees tomorrow, it's not going to snow. It's saying the high for the day, which is accurate, but it's in the morning. So we just don't want that to confuse you. Then Thursday, the first day of spring, and it acts like it. We're back into the 50s. Sun shines back. The winds come down. It's nice. Friday, I lowered the rain chance. I think we're mainly dry, and we're back into the 60s there. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all, in fact, 60s. Once they come back, they're here to stay. Weekend, a little breezy on Saturday, not bad. Sunday, I've got a rain chance and a first warn. So what we're watching is this, some morning showers. There's 10 o'clock, and it should be gone by the afternoon. Now, the reason why I'm going with a 40% is because some of our other longer range models have most of that to our south and east and don't have hardly anything for us. So if you've got outdoor plans on Sunday, just know that that's on the table for this point. That's why we highlight it with the first one. But it may end up staying south. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Hopefully we can drop that first one and have a dry weekend. Then Monday and Tuesday, sunshine and low 60s. So there you go. Hope that gets you ready for what's going to be a wild day tomorrow. Just buckle up. Here we go. Big thing is going to be wind and visibility drop and not fun on the roads and maybe a little accumulation, a little bit there. So hope that helps with your planning. We've got new stuff coming for you at 10, high res everything, snow totals, forecast radar. We'll have you covered. We'll see you there. Have a great night.